Hello, everybody. Yes, good afternoon. Our Tuesday Life is back. Yes, 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 yes. Who is excited? All right, so you're welcome here. Welcome back. Welcome, 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 and happy new year to every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And yes, it's Tuesday Life, and we're going to talk about how to help your child regulate their emotions. I see every single one of you. Thank you for joining me. And I hope that you had an amazing holiday. Like I said to the parents in the inner circle this morning, we are done with Christmas. We're totally done with Christmas, and it's time for us to start working. So, this is us working, yes? So, it's for us to run. Okay, so I decided that we're going to start with this conversation today on how to help our children regulate their emotions. Okay, I've seen that that's one of the very key factors, very key thing that a lot of parents battle with: regulation of emotions. And many of the times when parents reach out to me to ask me about regulation of emotions, one of the things that is usually very, please excuse me, 1 minute. So one of the things that is usually very, interesting when they ask some of those questions is, they tell you that, no, that's not how me I am, and it's not me. I don't know why my child is like this. Now, regulating emotions for a child is actually something very, very, very important to your child. I've seen quite a number of, children that we're raising today who, react, instead of actually being able to label what it is that they feel per time, and also being able to actually put a lot of, their emotions in perspective. How do I begin to teach my child how to regulate their emotions? The first thing that we want you to note is that suppressing emotion is not regulating emotions. Many times when you talk about um, talk about this, you find out that quite a number of people will tell you, when things happen to me, I don't really, I don't really say a lot, I'm just. So you find out that quite a number of people repress their emotion instead of learn how to manage their emotion. All right, and which is why one of the very major courses that we run in the academy is becoming an emotionally intelligent parent. Becoming an emotionally intelligent parent teaches you how to help your child become emotionally intelligent. But one of the key things that I need you to take is regulation of emotion is not repression of emotion, neither is it suppression of emotion. Now, what is the difference between repression and suppression? When you repress, all right, when you repress, it means that you are unconsciously putting down your emotions. When you suppress, it means that you're consciously putting down your emotions. Many of us cannot manage our emotions. Is it that we are repressing it, we're suppressing it, or we are just throwing it out there? So our children also behave the same way. And of course, we usually have a problem with that. When you do it, you don't really realize that this will affect people around you. But when people around you do it, you begin to now think, okay, I think this is actually a problem. I think I shouldn't have been doing this and all of that. If you're listening to me, my name is Wendy Ologe, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. Yes, the inner circle parents call me VC. All right. And some other names that I don't even, plenty. The ones I read this holiday has been very, very interesting. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember that you can share this link with your family and your friends so that we can start to learn. The learning has started already. It's 2023. So that we can start to learn. Another thing that you would want to pick out is that some people have been asking us, how do we join the inner circle? Oh, the inner circle. So you can now book for the inner circle for the next cohort. The 2023 cohort have already started. 2023 cohort started on the 1st of December. In fact, we've been under pressure to admit people, under serious, immense pressure. I cannot even lie to you. Sometimes my phones are ringing at midnight. Parents want to jump in. Because we've stopped, taking in people at this point, we want you to focus. You can start taking the short courses in the academy, the different things that we do. That would really, really, really help you, okay? So, for instance, we have a course that is coming up, Becoming an Emotionally Intelligent Parent course. You can enroll for it. These are short courses that everybody enrolls for, including the parents in the inner circle. Just that the inner circle gives you a platform, a process to actually be able to, put a lot of things in perspective. And the other side is on the 31st of December, the inner circle fee was going to move from 70,000 to 100,000. But again, we were under, a lot of pressure. A lot of people said, oh, they didn't see the review during the, holiday. So we decided to keep the review and give you an opportunity to make your booking at the price of 70,000 naira for now. Please, if you are listening to me, you can hear me, you have friends, family that want to be part of the academy in 2024, let them book now and get to save a 30,000 naira. The moment these fees go up, we are not going to take it back up. And even at 100,000 naira per year, you are not paying. That's the word. In quotes, right? What I mean is that you're going to get like 1 million times over whatever it is that you have paid. All right? One of the things that we pride ourselves for is that the inner circle is the expectation. The parents in the inner circle, the new cohort will tell you, you can't really fully describe what happens in the inner circle. A lot of people have asked me, what is the inner circle about? We can only give you the peripheral. We can't really fully disclose and tell you, in the inner circle, this is what you get, this is what you don't get, and all of that. Yes, we can just, do a summary, but it's much more than that. Much, much more than that. Thank you so much for joining me. So back to the conversation of the day, how to help your child regulate their emotions. Now, when it comes to regulating emotions, one of the key things for your child in regulating emotions is you teaching them how to label their emotions. Now, one of the downsides is that we don't know how to label our emotions, so it becomes a problem. All right? If you struggle with your emotions, which is a bedrock of parenting, intentional parenting, you would want to actually look out for when we're going to announce for Becoming the Emotionally Intelligent Parent course, all right? And you want to really be there, okay? And you want to register and be there. Of course, the inner circle parents get a rebate for all our courses if they're going to be part of it, okay? So let's go there. I was talking about regulation of emotion not being suppression or repression, okay? So regulating your emotion is not sweeping your emotions under the carpet. This is really very key. So shutting your child up is not regulation of emotions. A lot of us have mastered the act of trying to shut our children up at every point in time, trying to tell our children, no, don't cry, don't do this, don't that, because we think that that's actually being able to put your emotions in control. That's not how to do it. Okay, I'm going to share a few tips. These are tips and hacks. They will not give you the kind of results you're looking for. You will need to actually enroll for the process to actually be able to get through. This will just give you a relief. You know how you have a headache, they give you a paracetamol, yes, and then you take the paracetamol, and then you need to get back to the hospital to check why the paracetamol is, like that, and what happened, why you had a headache. Okay, so you can share this, with your family and friends, and I will teach you 6 simple steps to help your child in emotional regulation. Now, managing emotions is hard. It's hard for adults. If you're I have been a student of my emotions for the past 10 years, and I can tell you for free, that is the best thing that ever happened to me. One of the things that you need to teach your children, number one, is to teach them impulse control. Now, time will not permit me to be able to actually teach you what all of the intricacies of impulse control, but this is a whole full subject right in the inner circle program. It's one of the things that you get. So I'm going to teach the parents in the inner circle. That should be either this week or so, and they would understand. You need to understand how to teach your children on impulse control. Now, lack of impulse control is what makes people gamble, do drugs, and all of the things, all right, that actually really happens. And it's a very key aspect of your parenting that you need to pay attention to. All right. So managing emotions is difficult, and knowing how to teach your children these skills is super difficult. You would if you've not been taught, so you need to learn them. But healthy emotional regulation is one of the most important skills you can teach your child as a parent, because the ability to have, regulate emotion affects every area of your child's life, every area, their education, their mental health, their relationship with the others, their ability to bounce back from difficult and challenges. I was sharing with the parents in the inner circle about challenges, and I said to them that your ability to deal with challenges is not in whether the challenges will come or shouting God forbid. It's in your ability to build skills. You do not have skills, you will find it difficult to bounce back to challenges. And what helps you to do that? Building your emotional stability. Last year, which is 2022, I experienced quite a lot of loss. Right? I lost very close loved ones. All right, starting from losing a best friend to losing my grandmom to losing, my two grandmothers died last year, to losing an uncle, and it was a hit back to back. But you know what? You are not able to survive setbacks because it's not supposed to be your portion and all of the things that we both know. You are only able to survive according to the emotional stability you have built over time. And that's why when it comes to emotional intelligence, you can't take it out. It's like everything. All right? Emotional intelligence is everything. So if you're going to build children who are resilient, children who will be able to bounce back from difficult challenges, you need to build their emotions. Another thing that affects is their self-esteem. Another thing is their relationship with you. So pretty much everything they do now and in the future requires that they know how to regulate their emotions. Now, this is the downside. Quite a number of parents do not know how to regulate their own emotions. That's why when something happens to you, you are hit back to back. You cannot get yourself. You can't stand up. All right? That's why quite a number of us, our self-esteem is battered because we do not even understand who we are. So we can't even name how we feel. So I usually would say that being able to manage your emotions will take you, even in your finances, it will transform your finances. The more you know how to handle your emotions, the more every other aspect of your life, changes. And that's one thing that you must teach your children. Now, how do you teach your children emotional regulation in these systems? Number one, manage your own emotions in a healthy way. We're back to you. Yes. One of the quotes that parents struggle with, and a lot of the time, parents who come into the inner circle get hit by that quote. The first time they get into the inner circle is that parenting is about you. When you listen to these skills, you're going to find out that, this is me. This is just everything about me. Without emotional intelligence, you would not succeed in every aspect of your life. You will struggle. So it's very important that you actually begin to manage your own emotions in a healthy way. How do you do that? Emotional regulation, emotional skills is a learned skill. It's not something that you just wake up and just some people would tell me that I've been yelling for years. Oh, I'm always reacting. I've been praying about it. When God points you to this session, it means that God has answered your prayer. So it means that you need to do something about managing your emotions. And what is it? You need to go through a process. If you do not go through a curriculum, you can't solve that problem, right? So it's probably one of the most difficult things about parenting. Because for a variety of reasons, your children are going to trigger you. They're going to push you, all of the reasons that we give. Yes, it's normal, but your children don't tell you how to react. Your reaction will be dependent on how much you can manage your emotions. So it's also normal to feel like you just want to get away from them and all of that because it triggers your flight and your fight response. And if you do not know how to actually put these things in perspective, then you will be stressed because you will react in a stressful manner. And this stress actually makes us, wears us down. That's why parenting overwhelms you because many of us lack skills to actually be able to parent. The moment you are able to gain skills to parent, parenting becomes a lot more easier. So parenting becomes easier. A lot of people would tell me that, oh, you don't know the kind of children I have. It's very overwhelming. I cannot even read. You can't because you still haven't learned how to manage your emotions and teach your children how to manage their emotions. Very important. How much your reaction will depend on how much you can manage your emotions. Emotion management, again, is not suppressing your emotions. No, it has nothing to do with that. It is you being able to, pinpoint what is wrong with you, label it, and then know how to manage it. All right. At that course, becoming an emotionally intelligent parent, we are going to show you, emotional management and give you, the things that you can do to also begin to manage your emotions differently. But let's keep going. All right. When you react in a way that you shouldn't, the problem is that it teaches, them that, they can just do these things, and they learn that expressing their emotions, can be is something that they should hide, or something that they should just do anyhow. So either way, it's important that you show them how. Number two, talk about feelings. Yes, your feelings, their siblings' feelings, their friends' feelings, and all of that. The children at the park, the children on TV, the character in a book, the child you saw in the shop. Let the child, when the child is crying, give it a name. Give them the language they need to talk about feelings. Now, there's something that we call the emotions language. Unfortunately, our emotional vocabulary are so limited. That's why when you're angry, all right, when you are frustrated, you interpret it as anger. And until you can interpret your emotions rightly, you can't manage your emotions. So managing your emotions first starts from you being able to interpret what you feel. So how do you even begin to interpret what you feel when you cannot name it? So part of what we teach in that course is to teach you how to name your emotions, label them. Know when you say, I feel this, I am really disappointed. So many of us are disappointed, but they label it as anger. And our children do the same thing. I know quite a number of parents. I have, I found emotional intelligence to be the bedrock of my being 10 years ago, and I followed it like bumper to bumper. I have parents here who have gone through our emotional intelligence class year in, year out for the past 5 years that we've launched this course. The very first course we ever launched in the academy was becoming an emotionally intelligent parent course. That was the very first course we launched. And, that's, 2 months into the academy. And it's till tomorrow, it's one of the biggest things for us in the academy, because I believe and I know that once you can put your emotions in check, then every other things can sit, and you will be able to, control other things. A lot of the parents who joined the inner circle, this year have done 1 month, and you find out that just in 1 month, because they've been able to work a bit in connecting, and all of that, they find out that it's becoming a lot more easier to become a parent. They're no longer struggling like they used to struggle. All right. So that's one of the things that you need to do. Another thing is that you need to help your children recognize their feelings. All right. You need to start when they are young, as babies. You should be able to label the emotions for them when they appear. Your 3-year-old is having a meltdown. Why not label that emotion? Tell your 3-year-old you're feeling really disappointed because mommy didn't give you that stuff, right? You're really angry because daddy said no. You feel sad because we want to leave the park. It's okay, but this is why we need to leave. So it will help your children to pair their emotions with how they feel. But if you do not have these vocabularies, you can't share them. You can't give what you don't have. It will also help your children to understand their emotions. Don't just come, that their emotions don't just come from anywhere. There's a trigger. So they are able to, understand the triggers. So part of what we also do in the course is to teach you triggers. So if you're able to label your triggers, then you can solve your problem. And lots of you, are, you may not be aware, all right, of their trigger. If you're not aware of your trigger, you can't label your emotions. This is important to your child to understand, because if emotions feel unpleasant and suddenly spring up for no reason, now it is scary. It's unpredictable. It suggests that they have no control. But meanwhile, you are the one that have control over your emotions. All right? While it's true that we cannot control how we feel, but we can certainly control what we do with the feeling. How we manage that feeling, and how, we're able to also feel better. All right? So talk to them about their body, how their body might feel or experience when the emotions are going on. All right? So you would notice some physical sensation in your body when you recognize how you feel emotionally, when you begin to pay attention. Sometimes when you're angry, your muscles tighten up or get tensed up. Sometimes your head is foggy. Sometimes your mouth becomes dry. These are all being able to pay attention to who we have become. The fourth one is that you need to validate their emotions. Don't dismiss how they're feeling by telling them something like, "You're okay. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing to be scared of." I know you just want them to feel better, but comments like these make a child think that their feelings must be wrong. They learn not to trust their own feelings. They may not be able to, say anything, but that doesn't make them feel, any less real, right? So it's more helpful when you begin to acknowledge how they feel. You need to normalize their experience. You need to begin to offer suggestions for dealing with the feeling. Like a lot of children feel nervous on their first day in school, for instance. So when they do new things, or, I know you feel scared now. That's validation. Instead of saying you don't need to be scared now, it's just school, just go. That's validation. But you go ahead to say, oh, sometimes what you think will be scary turns out not to be scary if we try. Can you think of a time when you were scared of something and you tried and it's no longer scary? So there's nothing quite as effective as drawing upon real life lessons. Just make sure that you use this strategy. You can think of the time when they effectively managed something that they were scared of, because it is very important. So if you don't, you will risk making them feel worse, because even though you're trying to make them feel a lot more better. All right? Thank you so much. Are you following me? Have you shared this link with your family and your friends? If you're following me, let me see you share in the comment section that you can hear me, that you can see me. All right. So talking about emotions intelligence, the book we're reading today in the inner circle is Connect to Correct for level 1. All right. So Connect to Correct. Okay. Let me have a copy. So Connect to Correct is, a book that talks about you being able to connect. But for you to connect, you find out that you struggle if your emotions are not in place. If your emotions are not in place, you struggle. You're going to read this and you find out that, okay, yes, this is teaching me quite a lot, but there's something inside and you're trying to implement, you will now feel that gap. Okay? I can see, I'm following, I can hear you. Thank you so much. All right, great. All right. So you now begin to feel that gap. Is that gap? That gap is your inability to manage your emotions. The gap of being able to actually go through a curriculum. So I see quite a number of parents who will come to me to say, oh, I have gone through, read the book, but I find myself still struggling. Is because you need a process to also be able to actually understand what you need to do. All right? Okay. All right, I think that's that for number 4, validate their feelings. Then number 5, you need to allow them to express their feelings. Even if they are different to yours, children who are not allowed to express how they feel will learn that it's not safe to express emotions. They will learn to push their emotions down into themselves. They will repress it. They will still feel the feeling, of course, because we can't stop ourselves from feeling. So instead, they will keep shoving those feelings deeper and deeper until they can't fit any more emotions in there. And then they will explode. All those feelings they haven't been able to express, it will come bubbling up in the surface and they will lash out. Sometimes it will be really something small that triggers it. Is a straw camel's back type kind of situation. All right, the straw that broke the camel's back. All right. So you might be left wondering, what happened? Why the huge response? I don't even know what happened to my child. He has never reacted like that before. I don't even ever felt that way. Let me see you in the comment section. Have you ever felt that way? You just see your child just explodes out of nowhere. And you're thinking, this child has never done anything like this before. What happened? The child has been suppressing his emotions, has been repressing it, and you have not really allowed them to express how they feel. All right? And really, it's like, it's something, it's something also very unhealthy, because you're teaching the child that the child cannot express what they feel. It's actually very, very unhealthy and can cause some, emotional sickness and all of that, right? So let's also get to the circle of when we tell our children, why are you crying? Stop crying. There's nothing to be upset about, and all these, go to your room until you have calmed down. Stop crying, please. Why are you even upset? It also looks like you're punishing the child when the child have an emotional meltdown, right? So you tell them, you beat them. You beat a child, and the child cries, you beat the child for crying. And, sometimes I'm wondering, how did we get here? All right? How did we get here? Your children need boundaries, yes. But we need to make sure that you're not punishing them for expressing emotions also. It's okay to be angry. There's nothing wrong with it. It's okay to cry. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not okay to hit anybody when they feel angry. The angry one is the person that needs love the most. I've said this over and again. It's okay to feel frustrated. Yesterday, our daughter was supposed to get into a session in the girls' hub run by Atetima. She was running late. She was feeling frustrated. And then, everybody knew at that point she was frustrated with the timing and all of that. Everybody just let her be. All her dad did was just hug her. And of course, that melted down all of the frustration. And she was like, okay, I'm going to calm down and take a look at this and all of that. It is actually, it's actually a very key thing. Very key point. So that you're not letting your children, feel like you tell a child, you tell the child, don't cry. Why are you crying? Why are you angry? We even tell children, why are you angry? I don't understand. Sometimes, my children are upset about something. I'm like, it's okay to be upset, but what is not okay is how you're managing it. It's very okay to be angry. People view anger, sadness as negative emotions. All right, those things we call emotions, negative emotions, are data. They are data. And these are data that the child will need to work to make himself or herself a better person. A better person. And most of us, then some of us at the other extreme are the people that are quiet. I like the way Coach Ebuka says, quietness is not the fruit of the spirit. You tell people that, can you really regulate your emotions? They say, I'm a very quiet person. I don't really talk. That's not what regulating emotions are. I've seen quiet people who are zero, who cannot express themselves, who cannot express their emotions, who cannot label what they feel. It's a big challenge. It's a big challenge. If you deal with me, for instance, when people say, somebody sent me a chat recently, I said, I thought you were upset about something. I was like, no, if I'm upset about something, I will be able to tell you that, oh, I was upset about this, and this is what you did. You need to teach your children to actually be able to express their emotions. It's very, very okay. You need to allow them to express it. All these shutting children down, he doesn't pay them. All right, he doesn't pay them. Again, like I said, an angry person is the one that needs love the most. Your child expresses anger about something, you flog the child. I've never been able to fit it in, right? So you need to separate emotion from the behavior so that you can teach appropriate expression of emotion. That is a skill. You need to teach it. Not stop the expression of the emotion altogether. They're not the same thing. All right? So a child is feeling frustrated and the child is throwing something. All right? Now, that's two different things. It's okay to feel frustrated. For instance, if my daughter was frustrated yesterday and then she begins to shout at everybody, that's what is not okay. But whether she's going to feel frustrated and it's okay, yes, it's fine. I cannot now go to her and be saying, why are you frustrated? Is it all this little thing that you're now frustrated? Okay, what is it? After you now remind the child how you have paid for the class. Who sent you? You now remind the child how you gave birth to her and have suffered. Remind the child how you work hard and you take the child, you pay for school fees, you buy food. What is all that? When the person is actually being, expressing an emotion. So instead of labeling the emotion and say, okay, this child feels frustrated, but this child is actually, throwing himself on the floor because he feels frustrated. Now that's what is not allowed. Not being frustrated. So if the child is frustrated, it's fine to be frustrated, for crying out loud. All of us get frustrated, even you. So you need to learn to separate the behavior from the emotion. It's a skill. It's a skill. It's not something that, you just wake up, separate it. And when you are able to separate it, you cannot say to a child, why did you get angry? Why did you? I don't even know how we say those things. You tell a child, why did you get angry? Why can't is a child not an emotional being? A child is an emotional being. So the child will get angry. So what you're not going to teach the child, what you're going to teach the child is what they will do with the anger. That's what it is. But telling the child, hey, why are you getting angry? I'm the one that is doing everything. I'm the one that have paid your school fees. In fact, I paid for the class. I should be frustrated, not you. Why? Because the child is not a human being, and you should have the right to be frustrated, and the child doesn't. Then when the child grows up, and then the child does something, you don't even show emotions. You don't even, and you now want to turn it around. You didn't teach the child how to label their emotions. You didn't teach the child. Because until you teach the child can learn. You can't give the child, the child cannot give what it is that they've not been given. Some of us have no atom of being able to actually empathy on what the child is going through. And then tomorrow, you want the child to show empathy to you. Some things we do just make me laugh. I was in the hospital and I saw a father, a child, dragging the father, treating the father anyhow. I cringed. It was so, cringing to me. I couldn't believe it. But when I looked at it, I said, this was probably how this child was treated when he was ill, or when he was in the home, or when he was a child. He doesn't know any better. Now he's an adult. The father needs to be treated with empathy. He can't show it because he doesn't have it. Because when that child showed those emotions, the child was shut down. See, some of the things we do in parenting, we think that, it's okay. It comes back to haunt us. Eventually, it comes back to haunt us. We do this even to our friends. We do it to our spouses. And then, we want things, in a better way, but we must learn to actually do it in a better way. All right? So that child has the right to say, I am upset about something. A few days ago, my son was having a conversation with me and he said, Mommy, I'm going to say something now. I don't mean to trigger you. It might be a little bit triggering, but I just want to express it. And then at that point, like we say in the inner circle, I have a humility about that factory in my house. I don't need to cut and sew like you people know. I have factory. I just ran to my factory and wore plenty. And then he said what he wanted to say. And, I was able to explain to him. And then he was like, oh, okay, I get it. These things are very important. You are the first beneficiary of your ineffective parenting. You are the first. If you don't teach your children these things, the first person that they will give it to is you. Just like when parents are on holiday, they are crying, oh, I'm the one doing everything. I want the children to start school. I don't want to. Why are you raising a child that is a burden? A child becomes a burden to you because you don't teach the children skills. See, your children becomes a burden to you the moment you don't do, what is right. And it's you that you hunt first. I look at parents, 13-year-olds. You have 13-year-olds, you're struggling in the kitchen, as in, I can't get it. But you're the one struggling anyway. That's the result of ineffective parenting. You are the first beneficiary of ineffective parenting, the very first. Nobody will, before the society, come to terms with a child that is not responsible, you receive it first. So the same thing with managing emotions. If you do not teach your children how to manage their emotions, you're going to have a child. Somebody sent me a chat. The child was angry. A game couldn't, go his way. He threw the phone on the floor and smashed it. Can't you see a problem already? You will be the first beneficiary because you will be the first person when something happens to you, the child will be the person to raise hand, to scream, to fight you because you haven't taught the child what to do. So on this 2023, the first thing you want to do is to begin to look at your parenting and restructure it. This is no longer a time when we're saying you need to attend the course. And you're saying, what are they even saying about this course? You will find that that at the end of the day, it hits you. It hits you back to you. If you don't pay the price today, you will pay it tomorrow. Either way, you do the time. When I saw that father in the hospital, I just said, I just said to the father, I just said in my mind, this is it. This is it. The father is just paying the price, which is a very heavy price. This guy could barely say a word. He was struggling, and the son was speaking to him anyhow. Come on. That's what we do to our children. You talk to them anyhow because you think they're children. You beat them mercilessly because you think that they have no mouth to talk. You repress their emotions because you think that, who the hell are they? I'm the one making money. When you're done, your fruit is waiting for you at the end. So if you don't pay to learn now, the result will be more devastating. I've seen this over and again. All right? It's very important that you begin to look at your parenting differently. And in 2023, as you're, going, you're running, you need to attend the course. You need to work on your emotions. Work on your emotions. The biggest place I have invested money in my life when it comes to personal development is emotional intelligence. And it's the best thing that have happened to me. I've said it over and again. I can pay anything to attend an EI course. Done 6 seconds, I've done, name it. And these are part of the things that have made me. You cannot become without actually working on your emotions, because it is everything. That's where everything stems from. Everything stems from there. So what are you going to be benefiting? Is it your effective parenting or your ineffective parenting? Children have been on holiday. Some of us are still struggling because, your children are very, unskilled, and then you're just struggling everywhere. The holiday is my most relaxing time. See how fresh my face is now, because the twins are around and I'm able to actually hang my leg, as in literally. So you need to actually begin to do things to help your children work on their emotions, live a better life. Because even for their own lives, they need to know how to put their emotions in check. And, you get your children react in those ways, and you do not really know how to handle, some of those things. This month is our social intelligence month in the inner circle, and we're going to be having our first weekly webinar on Thursday. Some of the things I cannot say here, that's where we will enter inside and we will hit the parents in the inner circle. They understand it. There are some very many things I can't say here. If I say it, you might stone me. But the parents in the inner circle will understand it. If they make noise, I know what to tell them, yeah? But, out here, there are some things that you will never hear, all right? Not just because, you haven't paid to actually be able to be in that system, but because you're not in the process to actually be able to understand it. If you hear them, you might actually collapse and just think that, this coach, what is the problem? So, on this, somebody said, I want to join the inner circle. Kai, what is this I'm missing? Where have you been? You will join in 2024, eh? It's all right. Just book your slot now so that we don't tell you that the slot is not there. So on Thursday, the parents in the inner circle will get hot tea. When you're done the webinar, you go and relax and think, and we move. Is the result that is the sweet thing. All right. That's the beautiful thing about, the inner circle parents. And shout out to all of you guys. Okay. It is very, 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 very key. All right. So you need to actually be, at that place. And while you're waiting, people that are asking me about the inner circle, see the link, see that thing scrolling down. Book your slot for 5,000 naira. Wait in the waiting list. 1st December is the time for you to get in. 1st December of 2023. Yes, you wait. Yes, 2023. All right, 1st December. That's when 2024 cohort is starting. All right, you pay and then you wait in the waiting list. While you're waiting, take these courses. Time is going. Time is going. If you learn without a curriculum, it's going to be ineffective. I am the one telling you. It's okay for you to binge on this 1, 2, 3. It's fine. It's okay. But there is more without a curriculum, you're just going to be floating. Okay, start by registering for becoming an emotionally intelligent parent course. When we announce it, we're probably going to announce that before the week runs out, and you can register for it. Parents in the inner circle registering in the emotional intelligence course we have a different understanding from you. So while you're there, start by doing that. It's also going to help you. Okay, thank you so much. I can see you guys. All right, I can see you guys on Thursday. I hope that when I finish, inner circle parents will still love me the way they are loving me like this. I don't even know. I don't even know if I will still be loved, but I will bring it on, even at that. I'm not afraid. When I finish, I'll kiss people from behind. All right. The next thing that you want to teach your children, I said, I've talked about how to separate emotions from behavior and not stop expressing of emotion altogether. So I've told you what to do, and we will put a lot of things in perspective when we teach you on becoming an emotionally intelligent parent course. Then teach them coping skills. The sixth one. A lot of parents expect children to know how to cope, but they can't cope. We don't really teach them how. We assume, and that's one of the biggest problems in parenting. We expect them to learn. How do you expect them to learn? One day and see a post about a 12-year-old making some kind of sweet dinner. Then you go home and you are angry with your 12-year-old. You don't look at your mates. You didn't teach the child. So how do you actually, do that? You didn't teach the child. You didn't teach the child. The child will need to learn. But for you to teach your child coping skills, you need to learn coping skills. That's the first place. All right? You need to learn coping skills. Very important. All right? Very, very key. You need to learn it, and then you need to teach your children. I can see parents in the inner circle shouting, "Oh, bring it on." I hope that at the end of Thursday morning, you will be shouting this, "Bring it on." You'll be shouting this, "Bring it on," like you're shouting it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, but hey, I love this parent. I like the doing spirit that is in the inner circle. I just love it. All right. Truth is always bitter at the beginning, but later pays you greatly. Oh yes, it does. It does. Sometimes you hear some of those truths, you're very sober, but after a while, you will find out that it's actually for your own good. All right. Somebody said, "I love you more notwithstanding." Somebody's asking, how do we book a slot? All you need to do to book a slot for the inner circle is just to look at okay, I'm going to put something on my screen. So you just book a slot by doing this on the screen, or you use the description, right? In the link. My team just told me that there's a description. You can use the description, or you just do this. All right. The inner circle at the moment is 70,000 naira per year. It will not remain. Already, the review is already on in the pipe. We just posted just for a while so that people who didn't hear about the review would have heard, and then we would go ahead and do the increment to 100,000 per year. That's what it's going to become, right? So please, if you're watching, you can book a slot for 2024. Go ahead and book. People already started booking for 2024. So we already have almost how many hundreds of people in the 2024 waiting list. Okay? All right. We love it when our feathers are plugged. Yes, don't come with feathers. If you come with feathers on Thursday, you're on your own. The feathers will not remain. I can be sure. There's a kind of fire I'm bringing to you. I can be sure that you don't have feathers if you come with any. Just come naked, unashamed. All right. After booking the slot, are we free from the increase to 100K? Yes, you are free. You are free from the increase if you book the slot now. But if you book after the increase, you pay 100,000. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an awesome time. It's 15 minutes, of one of the things you would need to. Of course, you're going to get tips and hacks here and there, but without so much of a process, right here. All of our process will be in our courses, in our, short courses, books. You can get copies of our books. We have all of my books, I need to get copies, please. You have all of my books on Amazon, and you can get, I don't even know whether we have copies. The number of copies that we had to sell in this Christmas period. We are currently reading Connect to Correct. Amazing book. Even if you're not in the inner circle, get copies and read. But there's something I tell people when they, before they even get into the academy. When you read these books outside of the academy, it makes more sense when you read it in the academy. Do I have a witness? Do I have a witness? If I have a witness, let me see your comment in the comment section. All right. All right. Chai, thank God I'm in the inner circle now. Nelly, I can imagine how you used to feel, right? Those days. Okay. All right. Don't lower down the truth. Even in the inner circle, we're ready for you. Oh, it's in the inner circle we don't lower down the truth. The truth can never be lowered down, sir. You're in for it. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. Somebody said, yes, that's true. Exactly. So if you have read, books, until you read the books, while you're in the academy, it has a different meaning, really. There's just something that happens when you're not reading with a different understanding. But you can start now. So this is Love Your Child More. This is Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. This is Resolving Sibling Rivalry. Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro are 2 volumes. All right. I don't think you gave me volume 2. Okay. But you can get all of the books. All right. This will be my all-time favorite, Connect to Correct, followed by this. Even though people say all of them are a hit back to back, we have The Discipline That Works as well. Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, volume 2. These are all amazing books that changes the tides, on it. Okay. So when you talk about coping mechanism, we're going to teach a lot about coping mechanisms, right in the curriculum of the inner circle as well. Time won't permit me to actually teach how there are processes to teach coping mechanism and also how it goes. All right. So even if you're in the inner circle, so you would learn that. So just relax and you would have access to that particular curriculum as well. And for the Becoming an Emotionally Intelligent Parent course, which is going to come up by February, by February, the team is going to come up with the details and share with you. It is one course that you do not want to miss. All right. You do not want to miss being in that course. Okay. Somebody said the money we paid has finished and we're just in January. It's not like it's the place to be. Thank you so much, Wendy. Yay, I have an namesake. Thank you so much. Dr. Happiness, everything makes sense in the inner circle. Oh, yes. I have Connect to Correct before. Thank you. I have a witness. Nelly said I have Connect to Correct before. I've read it before I joined it, but it's making more sense to me now. Yes, that's what happens because you are absorbing yourself into a system and a curriculum and a process that actually helps you. Is hard copy available in Nigeria? Yes, hard copy is available in Nigeria. You can also get copies on Amazon. Just put Wendy Ologe and you will get copies there. I am the only Wendy Ologe anywhere. All right. Ella says in a circular permanent home address. Yes, so happy to be a Yada. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, thank you so much, Yadas. I am looking forward to that session. It's going to be across session for all the inner circle parents. It's nothing you have heard before. Nothing. It's nothing you have learned before. Nothing. All right. We're going to be coming with an empty sheet. Be ready for Thursday. I am ready for you. You can know that, right? Coach, we didn't join inner circle to be pampered. Please give it to us. No, you can't be pampered now. Hey, Mrs. Knock, Happy New Year. I see you. All right. All this we're going to learn in the inner circle. Are we still in January? Yes, we're still in January. Your learning is a 365 days of Basbos. Thank you so much, everybody. All right. If your coach cannot give you Basbos, you have entered one chance. I agree with you. Absolutely. 2023 is for me because I'm a Yada. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. It's been amazing. Remember to share the link with your family and friends. This is free for everyone. I just thought that we must have this class today. I wasn't going to come live, but I just thought, no, today we need to have this session. The team just said, no, we have to, and here we are. So the year has started rolling, okay? And we can start moving on it. Oh, by the way, somebody asked about this parent launch plan. So the parent launch plan is, part of we call it the inner circle manual. So currently the people in level 2, 3, and the upper levels, they're using this to build a manual in this month. Then people in level 1 will use it later on, all right, where we finish leaning on learning a lot of things, and then we will use it to also, build the Lord. Thank you so much for joining me today. How much to get copies of all your books? How much to get copies of all the books? For the 6,000, there are 10 copies of the books, right? 10 books, 10 hard copies. So you pay for 6,000, you have all of them. Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you, Nelly. Thank you, Hafsat. Thank you, Donya. I hope you enjoyed today. And this is your favorite coach. Yes, 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 yes. I like the new year already. I like, what's going to happen. The curriculum is so, interesting. Now we're going to come up with a few new addition of courses as well, in the academy that would also help your journey, like a full-blown communication class, which we're already building on because parents in the inner circle have, pressed on us to build a communication class full-blown, and we're going to do that. We're already working on that. Thank you so much, everybody. And I hope that this class was worth your time. If it was worth your time, let me see you share the fire emojis. All right. So, and then remember to share this link with your family and your friends. Remember that if you do not have your friends on the same lane with you, you will find out that you're going to continue to struggle even in your parenting. So even for parents in the inner circle, invite your friends, your family, tell them to come and listen to the things that you're also learning. It's going to help them. Get them into the academy. It's going to help your journey as well. I'm sure when we do, the social intelligence classes and also do creating a social roadmap for your Gen Z. I'm looking forward to that class because it's a rebranded type of that class, that webinar. He's totally rebranded. I'm looking forward to it, creating a social roadmap for your Gen Z. You will see why your system, your circle, we need to be on the same journey with you. All right? So I'm going to be sharing with you, creating a social roadmap. Even if you've listened to social roadmap for your Gen Z before, you are in for a blockbuster. This is me telling you. So get ready for ride. All right. It's going to be a good, beautiful ride. And we're coming up with also a guide. Even if you're not in the inner circle, you can get the guide. It's a guide on how to create the social roadmap. It will help you, even if you're just waiting. So you can start building on it, while you're waiting and then joining us for the next cohort. Thank you so much. I am really grateful for you. And thank you again for sending us felicitations on our 5th anniversary as an academy. We turned 5 years. This is our 5th year. So we entered into the 5th year. And in the 5th year, there was, a lot of, amazing things that happened. All right. And in 5 years, we have been able to globally dominate the parenting space. And that's no mean feat. And we are grateful to every single one of you for being part of us. And we also say thank you for all of your reviews on Google. All right. If you haven't reviewed for us, find us on Google, send in your review. All right. Give us a 5-star. That's who we are. A 5-star academy. Yeah. All right. Send in your reviews and just tell the world that, yes, this is a good place to be in. Thank you so much, everybody. See you tomorrow in Asako Parents when I share a voice note with you tomorrow morning. And make sure that you have done your tools for today. Yes. Thank you so much. And do have an amazing, amazing day.